My report for today is all about the basis and rationale of individualized instruction. Let's start with my intended learning outcomes for this session. Number 1, discuss the basis of individualized instruction. And number 2, distinguish the different rationale of individualized instruction as an alternative teaching learning strategy. Let's begin with the basis. Every human being is unique. Hence, teachers should not expect all students to learn at the same time, pace, and manner. Individualized learn in different ways and at different rates. Some learn best when reading or studying alone, like me. Some needs an interchange of ideas with others, while some prefer to listen to an authority figure. We know that there are fast learners and slow learners. Students also vary in their abilities and interests. Some are good in theory, while others are good in practice. Some give more attention to certain subject areas than to others, depending on their interests and goal. Learning is a fundamentally personal process, the achievement of which depends essentially on the learner's activity. Let's move on to the rationale. Individualized instruction provides learners the opportunity to harness their critical thinking, creativity, and self-direction as learners. It also gives them the chance to question, dissent, explain their position, and criticize works of others using a given set of standards. The result is that students are able to address their own learning needs, fill in gaps as necessary, and ultimately become autonomous, independent learners. The more opportunities given to them to engage in this particular strategy, the better they can be trained to harness their critical thinking, creativity, and independent learning skills. Only in individualized instruction can learners be given this chance to assume responsibility for their learning and hence develop critical thinking. Individualized instruction also provides individual learners a chance to explore and attend to their own needs, just enabling them to further develop their individuality, understand their capabilities and limitations clearly, and nurture their creativity. Now, what are the disadvantages of this teaching and learning strategy? Number 1, extra preparation. Individualized instruction often requires a great deal of preparation upfront. If the school is not using an intelligent, adaptive learning system that collects student data to achieve personalized learning outcomes, teachers will need to thoroughly research the academic history of each student and the ways he or she learns best. In addition, time and resources may have to be put into staff training and development as educators change their approach to teaching. Number 2, teachers need to adjust to a new paradigm. With the many changes associated with the transition to individualized instruction, personalized and blended learning, many teachers are questioning where they fit in the modern classroom. Are they being replaced by machine? Will they still get to do what they really love? Teach. And number 3, restructuring the classroom. Classroom structures may need to be adjusted to accommodate individualized learning. In other words, instead of the traditional rows of desks facing the blackboard, classroom seating arrangement may need to be more flexible so that the teacher can work with individual or small group while the majority of the students work independently with a personalized learning software program. Notwithstanding this critique against individualized instruction, individualized instruction is a crucial element of student-centric teaching that fosters real progress and achievement. This is a significant departure from the way classrooms have been structured in the past as a one-size-fits-all environment, with all students generally receiving information at the same time and same way as their peers, regardless of their prior knowledge or academic strength and weaknesses. Individualized instruction is bringing personalized learning to the classroom by tailoring teaching to each student based on his or her interests and capabilities. Like any innovation, adaptive learning may take some getting used to, but when the pros outweigh the cons, it's well worth it. In closing, I'd like to thank you for listening to my short video blog which I made for the first time, hence obvious nervousness. I have passed around a copy of my rubrics for the assessment of this presentation. Kindly accomplish them. Thank you. Good afternoon.